Basketball isn't an obvious way to begin a career as an artist, but for one South Australian it's proving extremely successful. Robin Eley's work has appeared in one of the world's most famous magazines, but now, after all that success, he's changing career again. Patrick Emmett reports.
In the highly competitive media world, where a myriad of magazines and papers compete for sales, punchy pictures and illustrations are vital to catch the eyes of readers. And someone who can do that better than most is Robin Eley. From this small study in Adelaide, he's painted some of the most famous faces in history and had them published in some of the most famous pages on the planet. What are some of the magazines you've worked for?
I've worked for quite a few, mostly in America. Some of the more well-known magazines would be Time magazine, The Progressive, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine.
From Kevin Rudd to President Obama, he produces his drawing without ever seeing his subjects in real life.
That's where I'm very thankful to have the internet, because so what I'll do is I'll take various photos from various sources, piece them together and compile an image, use models as for the bodies of the people. Like, for instance, I use myself a lot, so that's myself posing. And I'll use my father all the time, I use my wife.
What's your dad think about that?
He's actually amazing with it. He doesn't mind it that I've painted him sitting on the toilet.
The paintings are done on board, then scanned and sent to art directors anywhere in the world. But if it seems a surprising career to have when you're based in Adelaide, then its beginnings are even more surprising. Robin Eley doesn't mind admitting it. He's been a basketball addict since he can remember.
Childhood, I did two things. I played basketball and drew pictures of basketball players, and that's pretty much all I did.
When he was young, he played for district teams in Adelaide and eventually achieved his dream to play college basketball in the United States. He played in Santa Barbara in California while he studied psychology. He even got the chance to get one of his drawings signed by an idol, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's one of my most treasured possessions, if not my most treasured possession.
Really?
Yeah, because it's the combination of the two things I love most in my life. From a personal point of view, not to say anything of my relationships or family, but art and basketball are my two biggest passions, and to have them both combined, and then to have it signed by the greatest player to ever walk the face of the earth. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It's just an amazing thing to have, and I'm very fortunate to have it.
While he loved the basketball at college, psychology was a different matter. So he switched to art, and the rest, as they say, is history. After he graduated, he hit the streets of New York, knocking on doors and showing his work. Then when he returned home, the jobs started flowing in, and in a very short time, a pretty famous client.
Getting a call from Time magazine 2 months into your new career as an illustrator, asking you to do their feature illustration for their 60th anniversary issue, that's stressful. I couldn't function the rest of the day.
It was also a good time to be an illustrator for publications in the United States. George W. Bush was in power, and Obama was battling Clinton to be the Democratic challenger.
He's been a career maker almost. I think that's what really stamped me as primarily a political portrait painter.
Coincidentally, he's not the only talented basketballer around that has artistic flair. Former 36er Brett Wheeler has also spent a lot of time illustrating and drawing. But after 4 years of success as an illustrator, Robin Eley has now decided to make a radical career change. He's moving into fine art, and he recently painted at the Royal South Australian Society of Arts.
I've reached a point where solving someone else's problem is not as appealing as solving my own. And I think someone once told me that, good illustration answers questions, whereas good fine art asks the questions, and I think that I'm ready to start asking questions now.
So you're a bit nervous about the future with it?
Terrified. fine arts and illustration, they're like two ships passing in the night. They really have nothing to do with each other. I'm a minnow in the fine art world.
But while he obviously has a bright future as a painter, you always get the feeling that basketball won't be too far away.
There's something very artistic about the game, and I think I approach the way I play basketball and the way I do my paintings in a similar fashion, and it just seems to fit with my personality.